Now you are aware of what is a load balancer or elastic load balancer in AWS. Okay, so out of the different kinds of elastic load balancers, we'll be learning application load balancer and network load balancer. Today we'll be doing the hands-on on application load balancer. In the application load balancer, what scenario we'll create is this. Okay, we'll create EC2 instances in each of the availability zones of Mumbai region, that is AP South 1, and we'll create the EC2 instances in the three availability zones, the three AZs, and these EC2 instances will be created using one of our launch templates which I have created, and that will be put into target group. Okay, so and this target group will be attached to elastic load balancer, which is our application load balancer. You all know that application load balancer is for HTTP and HTTPS requests. Okay, so usually for the web servers. Okay, so now we'll just create this scenario. Okay, for today. Okay, so what we'll be doing, we'll be creating three EC2 instances into three different availability zones of Mumbai region and putting them, registering them into a target group, and we'll create an elastic load balancer, which is application load balancer, and put the target as the target group. Okay, so let's head on to the lab now. Let's do the practical now. Hi everyone, welcome back. So as I said in the earlier session, in this session will be the lab, we'll be doing the lab for application load balancer in AWS. Okay, as I said earlier, we'll be creating three EC2 instances in Mumbai region in three different availability zones. Okay, now and after that we will register those EC2 instances to the target group, and after that we'll create a load balancer that will forward the request, HTTP request, to the target group that we created. Okay, and as I said, I've already created a launch template using which we'll create the EC2 instances. Okay, while we launch the EC2 instance, okay, let's take the template. This is the launch template. Let's take the latest version. Okay, rest everything remains the same. So here I'm creating this EC2 instance in availability zone AP South 1A, which is the Mumbai region. Okay. Now, if you go to the advanced details, what you'll see here is, okay, I have user data in which I am installing HTTP, starting the HTTP and enabling the HTTP for auto start, and then I'm creating a home page for the HTTP location. Okay, from in which when I access the home page, it will give me the name of the EC2 instance here. Okay, so I'll just say launch instance templates. The instance is being launched the new instance. Now here, let me tell you one thing. In Mumbai region, availability zone C, okay, 1C, you cannot create T2 micro. It does not support T2 micro instance. So what we will do is, we will create two instances in the availability zone 1B. Okay, so in the AP South 1B, we create two EC2 instances. Rest everything remains the same. Just give the number of EC2 instances as 2. Okay. So now, if you go to EC2 instances, you see those that the EC2 instances that we have created are being launched. Okay. So you can see here, this is already running and 2 are pending. They are in 1B. Okay, in different availability zone than 1A. Okay, so that means what we have done in AP South 1B, we have created two EC2 instances, and in AP South 1A, we have created one EC2 instance. Now, we'll create a target group. Okay. Simply say create target group, give the name TG6081. Okay. So it will be a type instance because we are going to use EC2 instances. Just say create. Okay. So successfully created. After creating the EC2 the target group, you need to register the EC2 instances. So just say edit. You will see the EC2 instances. See, all are already running. So whatever EC2 instances are available in your, or whatever EC2 instances are there in your EC2, or you have created the EC2 instances will be available here. Just select them and say add to register and say save. So now your EC2 instances are registered with this target group, and any requests coming to this target group will be sent to this EC2 instances, okay, in a round robin fashion. Okay, if we don't mention any options, it will be in a round robin. This one, then I'll get back this one. Okay, but they are in unused state now because they are not. We are not using in a load balancer. Okay, so our target group is done. So now let's go and create the load balancer. The secret load balancer, as we said, we are going to create a HTTP and HTTPS load balancer, which is called the application load balancer. Just say create, give the name ALB60ITN1. Okay, so application load balancer. Okay, so internet facing, we want it to be publicly accessible for testing purpose. So in which your EC2 instances are residing in which zones. Okay, so we have in two zones. Okay, we no need to do anything about AWS Global Accelerator. This is for performance, to increase the performance of the request. We'll learn in theory, but we'll not do in practical because you can see additional charges apply. That's the next. Now select an existing security group. So this is the one we'll select because this security group has SSH and HTTP port open, okay, for access. So now next, select the target group. Okay, so target, there is only one target group. That's done. Now just say register targets, then review, and then create. Now your load balancer, our load balancer is being created. Now it's in provisioning state. To use it, it should be in active state. In the meantime, let's go to our instances. So let's take one of them, okay, and take the public IP and access the URL. Okay, so it will take you to the home page. It should say, see, okay, this is the home page that has been created using our user data. Okay, so this is from this IP address. This is the private IP address. Okay, if I go to the next and check, I can do the same thing for the next one also. Okay, see, it's going from a different IP address. Okay, so we can send a request to these EC2 instances, but what is happening? We have to do it one by one. But to avoid that, okay, to help our request go directly to each of the EC2 instances without being knowing to which EC2 instances we are sending, we use load balancers. So we have created the load balancer. It is now, should be active now, is still provisioning. Once it is active, okay, we can use its DNS, okay, to access. Okay, so when we access it, okay, it will send the request. Okay, sometimes your DNS may not be accessible, so it's accessible. Now what is happening is when you are accessing this particular URL, okay, this particular DNS of the load balancer, which is internet facing, publicly available, if you refresh it, okay, see, it is now going to a different EC2 instance. The request is going to a different EC2 instance. See, now in different, see, to two different. Okay, so each time it goes to different EC2 instances in round robin fashion. Okay, now over here, that why is that happening? Because load balancer. Okay, if you go to listener, what we see is it is sending the request coming to HTTP port 80. Okay, to this particular target group. Now this target group, what it will do is it will send the request to one of the healthy EC2 instance. It should be healthy. If it is not healthy, it will not send. Okay. To see that, okay, let's go to the instance. Okay. See, this EC2 instance is now running. Now, if we go to actions and then we stop it, okay. So what will happen? This EC2 instance will not be available, and our request should not be going to this EC2 instance. Okay. The private IP address is 152, okay, 46.152. Now, if we go to our load balancer here, if we go to our target groups and check, you will see this is unused. Okay, that means request will not go to this particular EC2 instance. It will go to these two only now. See, see 173.253 only. So it will go to only these two EC2 instances, only these two. Okay, that is healthy. That means your request, okay, will always be served. Okay, because if we go to the individual EC2 instance URL and access, okay, if the EC2 instance is down, okay, we will not know it. But target groups know which EC2 instances are healthy, and it will send the request to that those EC2 instances only the healthy ones. Okay, so this is all about load balancer. Okay, application load balancer, and a very simple one. Okay, we need to some advanced details which we'll be learning in later sessions. For now, this is all. So what we have done here, we created 3 EC2 instances from the launch template in different availability zones. After that, what we did, we created a target group and registered those EC2 instances with this particular target group. After that, we created the load balancer, which will forward the request coming to port 82, this particular group, target group. Okay. Now, if we go back to the EC2 instance, okay, if you go to this EC2 instance, okay, and we start it, okay, then again the request will start going to this EC2 instance. Okay. Once it starts running, see 46.152, right? It's ending in 152. Let it run first. Once it starts, it's in running state, then we'll see that we are able to access the request will be sent to 256 also. Still not yet active. Okay. Okay, it's not yet running. So once it's running, then the request will go to this particular series. It's running now. Let's see. It's not yet going because the target group needs to identify that it's available. It's still in initial phase. So once it's available, healthy, then our request here. Now it's healthy, so our request should start going to this EC2 instance also. See, 152, right? 253, okay, 152, 173, 253, okay. So once it is healthy, because we start going to this EC2 instance also. Now let's see in this section, what we learned about is creating EC2 instance from the launch template, and then registering them with the target group we created, and then creating a load balancer that forwards the HTTP request to the target group. Okay, and then we also check healthy and healthy. What happens when an instance is unhealthy? Okay, or it is stopped. Okay, or if for some reason it is not reachable. Okay. Okay, so in the next session, we will be learning about auto scaling groups and load balancer, how to attach auto scaling group to the load balancer, and what is the advantage. Okay, so this is all for today. Okay, thank you.